All right, so you're thinking about moving to Dallas in 2025, and I definitely get it, right? You've probably seen all the TikToks flexing the skyline views, the giant brisket plates, and the folks bragging about no state income tax like it's a personality trait. But here's the wild part that nobody tells you. Living here feels completely different than just Googling it. Like, why do people in Frisco treat a trip to Bishop Arts like it's a full-on road trip, right? Why does August in Dallas feel like you're stepping into a sauna with a jacket on? And how come grabbing tacos under the skyline suddenly feels like a height of luxury living these days? Look, guys, this video is not some cookie-cutter list, right? It's gonna be the real deal, what life actually feels like in Dallas once the movers are all gone and you're figuring out your new routine. Because I'm about to show you a side of Dallas you should probably see. And by the end of this video, guys, you might just be packing your bags and catching a flight here or deciding if you're gonna stay put.
This wire is still on tour. I hear it till it's sore. I'm the leader of the board. I'm getting down in the court. Don't get no fuck about Florence. She got cash, I want some more. She's talking like
There's a moment, usually a few weeks after you're all unpacked and got the moving boxes all settled, where it all hits you like a Texas heat wave. You're standing there in line at the coffee shop, the skyline sparkling outside, people are buzzing around you in cowboy boots and designer shoes, and it suddenly just sinks in. Dang, my whole life really has just shifted. Your routine's different, your weekends look nothing like they did back home, and you start realizing that Dallas isn't just some dot on the map anymore. It's a whole vibe that decides how you spend your mornings, where you hang out at, and how long you sit in traffic, or even how many times you randomly find yourself at a rooftop bar. Because here's the thing about living in Dallas, where you live doesn't just decide your address, it decides your lifestyle. And listen, the first lesson you're gonna learn after you move here, this city doesn't run on miles, it runs on minutes. Listen, so the first Dallas truth bomb nobody warned you about is Dallas is like a giant constellation of neighborhoods and suburbs all floating around each other, right? But they're connected by these invisible force fields called drive time bubbles. I mean, folks in Frisco, they treat Bishop Arts like it's another planet. People over in Fort Worth, they'll look at you sideways if you suggest brunch in Plano. And if you live in Midlothian, the thought of driving to Legacy West on a weekday feels about as practical as booking a flight to Paris with connecting stops. And look, it's not at all because people are lazy, it's because Dallas highways are like a puzzle nobody can solve. You got I-35 splitting in two directions, one north towards Denton and the other one south towards Waco, like some kind of choose your own adventure story. There's gonna be the Dallas North Tollway, which is basically a VIP express lane to Frisco, but it charges you like you're selling Super Bowl tickets. And then there's good old 635, also known as LBJ Freeway, aka a highway straight out of Mad Max.
You're scum, Dementus! Scum!
This one is always under eternal construction, like pretty much always, guys. I've lived here for about 10 years now, and I'm convinced the orange barrels are a part of the city's permanent landscape plan. So what happens, right? People here build their entire lives around these 30-minute bubbles, right? Your job, your gym, your grocery store, your kid's school, your favorite taco spot, it all needs to fit inside this mental radius. Because the second you talk about crossing your bubble during rush hour, yeah, it's gonna be game over. And look, all of this really matters if you're moving here because where you choose to live isn't just about the square footage of the school zones. It literally shapes your daily lifestyle, right? Are you someone who wants quick access to the artsy bars and walkable streets? Or do you crave brand new houses with massive yards and top-rated schools? Your Dallas bubble builds your orbit, and trust me, guys, it's gonna shape your entire life. And hey, if you're already picturing what your Dallas bubble might look like, guys, just reach out. Whether it's Frisco, Rockwall, Uptown, or anywhere in between, guys, my team and I would love to help you figure it all out. If this is your first time to the channel, I'm Mark with the Dallas Relocation Guide, and we help people buy, sell, and relocate right here to the Dallas Metroplex. Listen, nobody's actually boots on the ground bringing you the type of videos that we bring to help make your move easier, less stressful, and with a smooth transition. So if you're thinking about making a move, guys, feel free to reach out. All of our contact info's down in the description below and pinned to the top of the chat. All right, now once you lock into your bubble, that's when Dallas really starts to show off, right? Because the mornings here, they definitely hit different. All right, so once you've actually figured out your Dallas bubble, now it's time to actually live in it. Because mornings in Dallas, listen, they just hit fast and they hit different. So depending on where you live, your morning vibe could be a whole different universe. Look, over in Uptown, you got people jogging the Katy Trail at 6:30 a.m., sweat pouring down, earbuds blasting podcasts about how to optimize your life, and somehow still making time for a stop at Merrick Coffee before work, right? Down in Midlothian or Waxahachie, folks are still dropping kids off at school, maneuvering around tractors and two-lane roads, right? And then they're also praying that they can beat the early traffic heading towards downtown. And then over in Plano and Frisco, it's tech professionals grabbing iced lattes at Legacy West, sliding into co-working spaces, and flexing their Tesla chargers like a badge of honor. But here's the universal truth, right? Dallas mornings move fast. Listen, the heat starts creeping in the second the sun peeks over the skyline. Traffic on 635, that transforms from manageable to please, dear Lord, just let me merge. And the coffee, let's just say Dallas has enough coffee shops to power an entire small country, right? You got Hoodstu, Merit, White Rhino, Friction Coffee. Honestly, sometimes it feels like baristas outnumber the population here. But here's the thing, even though mornings here are high speed, they don't always have to feel rushed, right? There's a rhythm you start to learn inside of your own bubble. All right, but here's the thing, guys. You definitely start to figure out exactly what time you need to leave the house to dodge the worst bottlenecks, right? You'll start to discover that one Starbucks that magically never has a line, and you realize which days it's safe to tackle errands and which days you should just wave the white flag and stay at home. And I mean, there's just something weirdly satisfying about cracking that local code, right? I know exactly what time my kids need to leave for school and precisely how early I've got to be on the road for showing and prosper. It's definitely a dance that you're gonna figure out as you live here, and once you learn the steps, guys, life here just starts to click. All right, but now I'm curious, what would be your ideal Dallas moving vibe, right? Are you gonna be more Katy Trail sweat sets at sunrise or iced coffee on your patio in the burbs, right? Look, drop us a comment below and tell me which neighborhood you think would fit your rhythm and your wine, and I'd love to hear where you picture yourself starting your first days at. But what about when the morning rush fades? That's when Dallas starts to show off a little bit, right? And if you know where to go and more importantly, where not to go, you'll start unlocking the version of the city only locals really get to enjoy. Now, I've been asked a lot about locals and where they actually even go, right? Everyone's heard of Deep Ellum, Reunion Tower, and the big splashy spots you see on the travel blogs. But if you're living here, guys, you quickly learn it's not just about where you go, it's when you go as well. I want you to take Deep Ellum, for example. Saturday night is gonna be packed shoulder to shoulder, but slide in on a Tuesday and you'll find killer live music, easy parking, and bartenders who actually have time to talk to you. And if we move over to the Bishop Arts, look, tourists hit this area on the weekends for the brunch lines and the Instagram walls, right? But locals know the move is grabbing coffee at Reunion on a weekday morning. It's super chill vibe with no chaos at all. But look, let's keep it real. For the mind-blowing tacos without the hype, right? Trompo in West Dallas is the spot to go, right? This is gonna be a tiny place with big flavors. Listen, if you need a mezcal night, Los Alamos is low-key with awesome bartenders and zero tourists if you go midweek. Listen, if you want those skyline views without the uptown scene, guys, the rooftop of HG Supply Company is gonna be your jam. Just skip Friday nights if you hate waiting for an hour for a table, and that's the stuff that no tourism site will show you, and most of these other realtors you're watching will clue you in on, guys, because basically they don't know the Metroplex like I do. I'm actually out here pounding the pavement, sweating my face off, and talking to the city on the ground level. We're bringing you the type of insights that actually feel like real value, guys. My goal is to give you the type of clarity you need to make such a big decision for you and your family. So if you're thinking about making a move down here, feel free to reach out. All of our contact info's down in the description below and pinned to the top of the chat. But with all that being said, you still have to enjoy life. But how about doing it without burning through your wallet, right? People don't realize how much fun you can actually have in Dallas for the free ski. Now here's the part that really messes with people thinking about moving to the DFW, right? You don't actually have to spend big money to feel like you're living large here. Like seriously, Dallas is packed with stuff that feels like lifestyle upgrades but costs next to nothing. Take Clyde Warren Park right in the middle of downtown, and it's actually built on top of a literal freeway, guys. And somehow it's become the city's living room. You've got food trucks lined up, skyline views that make you feel like you're in some type of music video, and the random yoga classes happening under the trees. And the best part about all this is, guys, it's totally free. Unless you cave in and buy 3 tacos al pastor, some elote, and fries from all these food trucks. Can you tell I've done this a time or two? Or you can head over to the Trinity Groves Bridge, guys. Perfect for the sunset stroll, taking skyline photos that'll make your Instagram pop. And what about White Rock Lake, guys? It's a total hidden gem, right? You're gonna have joggers, bikers, paddle boarders, and people just posted up on benches, catching that perfect golden hour glow. It's gonna be peaceful. It really feels like you escaped the city without actually going anywhere. But here's gonna be my favorite part, guys. Dallas loves to throw free events. Farmers markets over there in Bishop Arts, live music in the parks, art festivals that pop like magic. It's like the city figured out how to sprinkle a little bit of luxury into everyday life without draining your wallet. But listen, why Dallas can feel like a giant playground, there is a side to living here that nobody puts in the brochures. All right, so let's say you picked your Dallas bubble, right? You're living your best taco field life, and you even nail your skyline photo angle for Instagram every single time. But here's the part that nobody really warns you about when you're thinking about moving to Dallas, right? This city comes with some surprises, right? Some of them are gonna be annoying, and some of them are freaking awesome. But all of them, they're part of the deal, and they all go together. For example, the heat, right? And I'm not talking about the summer vibes heat. I'm talking about walk outside and you feel like a blow dryer's aimed at your eyeballs heat. I mean, look at me, guys. I'm out here sweating like crazy just to bring you this value. And it's early July right now. By August, stepping out of your front door is basically cardio now. Then there's gonna be the yard situation. Look, people think moving to Texas means you'll finally get that big, beautiful lawn. And you definitely do, but no one tells you that the grass grows like it's on steroids. One week, your yard is gonna look pristine, and then you blink and suddenly it's a jungle. Your mower can't even keep up, and you're learning phrases like Bermuda dehatching and lawn fungus prevention real quick. And don't get me started, if your HOA starts to see grass in your flower beds, they're gonna be hitting you up with the quickness. But here's the thing, people definitely figure it all out. I mean, you start scheduling your yard work before 9 a.m. when it's only semi-blazing outside. You'll learn which lawn guys are worth every single penny, and eventually you'll stop fighting it can just accept that St. Augustine grass basically runs your life from May to October. In property taxes, everybody loves to say Texas is so affordable until they get their property tax bill. Then it's 2 a.m. Google searches like, what is a CAD protest form? But look, when you flip that coin, there's also some good surprises too. Like random Tuesday nights when you end up at a rooftop patio downtown, or it's a Friday afternoon and somebody texts you, hey, Mavs game tonight, let's go. And suddenly you're downtown in a sea of blue jerseys, high-fiving strangers because you're officially part of the Dallas sports hive. Or you could just be chilling in a quiet suburban neighborhood and out of nowhere, there's a block party with bounce houses, food trucks, and a DJ spinning 90s hip-hop while your kids run around with snow cones. Look, Dallas has its quirks, guys, but it's packed with moments that sneak up on you and make you think, yeah, this is definitely home for me.
So I'm super excited to announce we just released our Reload Ready bundle. This is a bundle that gives you our knowledge of the Metroplex, the best areas, best food spots, best schools, and overall what to expect. And lastly, we're gonna give you access to our preferred property list. This is when builders have inventory that they need to move. They call and give us first dibs. These are gonna be those discounted properties you won't find on Realtor or Zillow.com. So if you want exclusive access, click the link below, become a part of our inner circle where we say less and pay less. Now, back to the video you were watching.
But here's the kicker, right? Where you decide to live, that's part of your Dallas story that changes everything. So let me show you where people actually settle down and why the glossy brochures only tell half the truth. So the number one question everyone asks when they're thinking about moving to Dallas is, where should I live? And here's the thing, if you're searching from out of state, you're probably seeing all the same flashy places over and over again. Uptown, downtown, Deep Ellum, those sleek high rises with rooftop pools and the views that make you want to sell a kidney just to pay the HOA fees. And hey, those spots are awesome for some people, right? But that's not the entire story, because once you're living here, you realize every neighborhood in Dallas has its own vibe, right? And one size definitely does not fit all. If you're single and love the nightlife and want everything walkable, Uptown and Knox Henderson is going to be your jam. You'll end up paying more per square foot, but you'll have the bars and the restaurants and the Katy Trail practically in your backyard. But if you got a couple of kids and you'd rather your Saturday nights involve backyard barbecues instead of bar crawls, Frisco, Allen, and Rockwall might be your move, right? We're talking bigger houses, newer builds, and schools that folks rave about. Plus, Rockwall throws in lake views as a bonus. Then there's good old East Dallas, right? That's for the folks who love older homes with character, tree-lined streets and coffee shops on every single corner, right? Lakewood, M Streets, Lower Greenville, tons of charm and just enough quirkiness to keep it interesting. But what about if you're craving peace and quiet or a home office or two, right? I want you to think about places like Midlothian, Waxahachie, or even parts of Prosper, right? More space, bigger yards, and you're still able to get into the city when you want to, just not every night unless you're gonna be cool with that drive. And when we talk about money, guys, Texas doesn't have a state income tax, but those property taxes and special district fees like PIDs and mud taxes, they can sneak up on you if you're not paying attention, right? So always do your homework. But here's the truth, every one of these areas works for someone, but not all of them will work for you. And that's exactly where we come in. So if you're even thinking about making Dallas home, guys, don't try to figure this out alone, right? Reach out, guys. I live it, I work it, and I'd love to help you find the perfect spot for your lifestyle. All of our info's down in the description below and pinned to the top of the chat. Now, what about when the weekends hit though, and the calendar really clears up? That's when Dallas starts to show off, and that's where you're gonna wanna see next. All right, so let me tell you what happens a few months after you move to Dallas, right? At first, everything's new, right? You're figuring out which highways make you cry, which taco spots are worth a detour, and why your grass grows like it's on a personal mission to take over your house. But then one day you're driving home, windows down, skyline glowing in the distance, and it just hits you, right? Dang, I really live where a lot of people are just coming to visit. You stop noticing the skyline because it's just there now, right? It's your everyday backdrop. You start recognizing faces at your local coffee shops. You find your dog's favorite trail at White Rock Lake. Little by little, guys, Dallas becomes not just where you live, but where you're rooted. And it's not just about the big stuff like concerts and festivals. It's the random moments, right? Like catching the killer sunsets over the Trinity River while you're stuck in traffic and somehow not even really giving a damn. Stumbling into a neighborhood block party where someone's grilling fajitas, kids are bouncing in inflatables, and the DJ's blasting 90s hip hop, right? Sitting on a patio in January, sipping coffee in a t-shirt while your friends are up north trying to dig out their cars from the snow. But Dallas isn't perfect, but it's easy to love once you're here. Because once you start living here, guys, and I mean really living here, it sneaks up on you in the best way possible. And that's when you find yourself thinking, yeah, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. So let me ask you, where are you at in all of this, right? Are you feeling like Dallas might actually be your next move? Or maybe you're just starting to dip your toes in and explore what life could actually look like here, guys. Either way, we've got your back, right? If Dallas is calling your name and you're ready to take the next step, guys, just reach out. Whether you're 6 months away or ready to start house hunting tomorrow, I'm here to help you figure out the best spot for your lifestyle and avoid a few of those Texas curveballs that we talked about, right? We're here when you're ready. But if you're still in, exploration mode, there's no rush at all, right? Keep hanging out with me right here on the channel, guys. I've got neighborhood walkthroughs, deep dives, and tons of details that'll help you picture exactly what life might look like in your Dallas bubble. And the crazy thing about all that is you can binge watch all of this sauce right here.